Sages, if you'd like to come on in for your shadow scry, we'll scry your ink blot, add on Tarot and Oracle, and we've got Ghost Tube Seer here on the go for any visual inspirations that may arise. So Sages, if you would like to join me, we'll close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Let's wander the subconscious aura. Oh, I feel like I'm dripping with honey. I'm dripping with honey. Okay, but I'm not a bee. Sorry, I gotta get off my leg here. I'm a worker ant. Yes, I'm a worker ant. She works hard for her money. That's what just came in. So working hard, and I'm just like dripping with the honey. I don't know what else to call it, Sages. It feels, like, I want to say on one hand, it's like icky sticky. But then I see it being used as like what is that? Like beautifying something or other, like a recipe for beautifying. So, yeah, I'm going to use that. Okay. For some, there also might be this feeling of, I'm receiving from behind and then I'm creating from the front. So it's like coming in from behind and then going out the front. There's a fluidity of the past to the present. Like one hand, what is that saying? One hand feeds the other. Sages, this is what it feels like. And I'm so wise. So Sages, I'm a guest in your aura here. So I'm saying that from a Sage's perspective. It's like, I'm so wise. But it feels good because it hasn't been without its effort or experiences in different genres of reality. There's also something going on there. I heard it might be something with the eyes. I feel like, people say, they see with rose-colored glasses. I feel like I'm seeing with angel eyes. Somebody might also have the gift of seeing spirit. Hook, line, and sinker. Whatever that means. I'm also seeing Dino from the Flintstone. So, got it. Might be a pet. I'm also seeing something with venom, like somebody might have taken a bite out of me. Yeah, there's that wisdom. It's almost like an octopus, but it's not an octopus. It's, if you can imagine an octopus that has been hybrided with a human. And so they have arms and legs. Now they might be rubbery and, octopus-like, but there's a wisdom there. There's a wisdom. I'm also, in a weird way, I'm just going to keep saying what I see, sense, and feel. You know the drill. Always please see, sense, and feel for yourself versus focusing on my yammerings. I kind of get Blair Witch vibes with this thing in the corner. When I say thing, that's actually the wisdom that I'm seeing. Oh, but look at that. It's like there's a ghost standing in the corner, like Blair Witch style. And I'm facing the wall. Ace of Pentacles. I don't even know what's that thing. It's because Fortitude's right behind it. And Queen of Pentacles. If those mean anything to you, please follow them. Sages. Fierce. I'm seeing something from a bird's eye. Can I flip this? A bird's eye view. Yep, there's a flamingo. Okay, so I'm still on Earth. Like, I haven't left the earthly realm, but somehow I've gained, not somehow like, somehow, but being a guest here, I'm like, somehow I have longer legs and I'm seeing from a slightly different perspective versus like head on. Like somebody also might be, it's like when your daughter or your son, your child is a mirror of you. That's what it feels like. Like it's in your face. And I don't mean like in your face. I mean, it's just, it's at eye level. Like maybe your child is growing and you're seeing you in them without trying to project your wishes, wants, and desires of what success or any of these things mean and look like, but to listen, to be, to listen to them and to hear as they're growing what inspires them, what intrigues them, to feed their strength so that they can overcome anything, because then this in turn, it's like the past and the present, this in turn reflects back to you in some sort of freedom of it. As you hold the spot, but when I'm in this longer legs, it's like, oh, I'm remembering that. I'm remembering how it's all woven together and I can see it. It's like a bouquet. Somebody's handing you a bouquet as well. Could be somebody in spirit, as I have death here, 6 of Pentacles, and Temperance. Maybe you have a daughter in spirit or a son, but I am seeing it as a daughter or female energy expressed. Maybe they passed on. Their help, look at this, even Lord of Material Success, child of the great transformers, and daughter of the reconcile. Okay, give me a second here. Sage, see, you're so wise. It's wild. So wise, it's wild. And you have people around you that, it's like that saying, you're too smart for your bridges. And then it's like, is that really what I want to say? Like, they're just very smart. Maybe they're an old soul and they're, that common saying. It's like, well, then teaching somebody how to apply the intelligence. It's like turning a key. Okay, so if there was a daughter that passed or female energy that passed, if there was a fight or there was, a kind of like a fight, or I didn't get to say goodbye, but it does feel a little fiery. They've reconciled, like they are with Temperance. They understand. They're not holding on to that frequency. Please don't hold on to that frequency. That, because it's fierce in a way that will fizzle and fry. And they're trying to send there's 2 bouquets here. Yeah, there's 2 bouquets. Sages, I'm sorry, I'm switching gears here, but the essence is of the same of success. There's also a lot of money. There's a lot of money happening here. Winter, the sacredness of pausing an apple, risk and reward. If any of those mean anything to you, please. There's a lot of money. Graveyard, unnecessary fear. This is from that daughter. Please do not fear of the fight that I missed out. It's almost as if I can very much so clearly see whatever may have happened or how it was in the passing. The soul was already gone, or not gone, but the soul was already externalized from the body vehicle. And that actually, she followed you and heard your words and all of that stuff. It feels very beautiful. I'm probably butchering the way I'm saying it, but hopefully you can feel like you are the apple of my eye, and being the apple of my eye, and I send that. I take a bite out of it. There's the bite in the back that I saw earlier, like it just bit me in the back like venom, and it's like, oh, and now it's like moving through the seasons of grief. And this daughter's blatantly coming through in the subconscious. Now, if this is not a daughter and you're not resonating with that, but you're holding space for that story to be shared, thank you. But also to have the reflection that this could be you. This could be the version of you, your adolescence, young adulthood, etc. And you are looking back and you are clear, instead of beating up on yourself for things there and then, and it just keeps eating at you from the past. You're clearing it up. You have cleared it up is what I feel like. You're pausing. And even if this winter is of deep introspection retrospectively, the risk and reward of that, any sort of working through any sort of fears of really contending with different versions of you at different ages, but you're changing the way you're looking at it. It's like even seeing the mummy here, the flamingos standing up higher, being in a cast, and then knowing when you're going to be able to take it off and you're going to move again. But it might be a little, you need to take a little while to lubricate. I'm seeing Brontosaurus. It's on a cloud. The light after the darkness, whether this is in grief or in gratitude of all the gifts that are trying to come to you from spirit. If you're working in that element, for those that are working in money, they are there. Joy is on the bottom. You feel joy and gratitude, and it keeps it all together. There's also, I'm seeing like somebody swimming up. This could be in relation to the grief. Like they're swimming up, coming up towards the flamingo. The higher legs, higher perspective. From the EC deck for a question to contemplate. Has there ever been a time where someone has imposed their needs onto you? And how does this affect you? Were we talking about that, or was that in my imagination? That's fine. Like when we were talking about like parenting, whether it's to your inner self, inner child, to an child you have birthed or adopted. I was saying I don't want to project them onto them. I want to hear their own heart, hear them, and work with that information. I can inspire some of the things that I may prefer, because you are the wise one. There are wisdoms. And I feel like there's a difference between, being like a wise wizard and a wise wicked witch. And I'm not trying to give the male and female energies here. They're just characters, right? And how did it affect you when others imposed their needs onto you? The weights of that world, of their world to be carried by you. Fortitude because you had all the strength, and then a part of you, it just, maybe it took a part of your childhood away and it's coming back. Maybe the death of your child took something away in your life, a desire to want to be joy. In the conscious realm here we have, was your earliest memory as a child a happy memory? And can you describe why or why not? Can you explain what nostalgia feels like? Sages, like this is why you're so wise, because you go deep. Last card, subconscious. Would your younger self be proud of the person you have become today? So for some, this is very much so in internal reflections of my parents, the way I was raised, in the system, foster home. And it's not like in this sweep of release of, okay, forgive and forget everybody. This is just coming back home and saying, okay, well, now I'm here. I'm wiser. Absolutely. So I'm going to go back in my mind when those memories come up, and I'm going to parent myself to that version of me with that exists within me. Because most importantly, sages know the spirit of that version of me could be in your 10s, 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Age being not necessarily a number that it's being applied here, but there's a version of me that I wish to go back and parent or simply support. And say, I hear you. I hear you, 15-year-old Steph. I hear you, 27-year-old Steph. I hear you, 35-year-old Steph. I hear you, 44-year-old Steph. I hear you. Okay, closing out messages for sages. It's being reconciled. Any sort of black sheep vibes. Morning Star and Prononia. You are smiling at every level of your pyramid of personal power. Anytime that you felt you had fallen from grace, even in amidst the sensation of grief, so much in spirit. I'm not even going to say so many. So much energy of spirit is smiling upon you as you are, I'm going to say wising up, but I feel like you're really implementing your wisdoms versus imposing them. Even like from a judgment and belief space, I know better. You're like, no, this is what I know for me. This is what I know for me. You also have guardians that stand in front of you. It's really quite beautiful to see. The Chariturgeon. It's really quite beautiful to see. Okay. There's that cloud. I want to come back to your ink blot for 1 second. It's that Brontosaurus on the cloud. Almost as if you have done, sages, so much. And I'm not trying to make it bigger than it is, because even getting stitches, spiritual stitches, I'm gonna call this. There's been psychic surgery, blood cells, reconfiguration, pins and pricks that have happened to me. And I'm not broken. I have been fine-tuning things along the way as I meet them, as I greet them. And everything that I connect with becomes a part of my cellular system. And it becomes a part of my signal. And it's strong, and it's slow and steady. Oh, my foot's falling asleep. And then I rise up, swimming up from the bottoms of this transcendental state, where sorrow may be, where deep thinking may be. And I realize it's all infinite. I am infinite. And those that I love may have lost, the versions of me that no longer exist, but I hold on in this very particular way as a punishment, or again in that what provokes me to move. And I take a moment to send some love to that, some gratitude, because you're so wise. Sages, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. It's just very profound. It's what it feels like to me. You're going to be smiling on all levels. Smiling on all levels. You've done the work, and not just like go to the doctor kind of work. This is like intricate psychic surgery of sorts, energetic stuff. It's profound, and I hope you feel that. Until next time.